everybody. If it would be helpful for me to tell some of what has led me up to where I am right now, I'll be happy to do that. It's just like lately I've been noticing that I've wanted to not really focus on my story so much because it really doesn't matter. Lisa called me and said, come on out. And I was like, what? Okay. And so I'm going. And that feels wonderful. It feels wonderful to just be in the flow. Yeah. You know about my sister Lorraine. She's coming to Fairfield. The first time that A Course in Miracles book got into my hand, I was at her house, and it's when she lived in Los Angeles, and I was visiting her, and it was about a day before I was going to leave, and I said, I really need some books, and she pulled out a whole bag of books that she had, and spiritual books and different things, and we were going through them, and I pulled out the Course book. And she said at that time, now this goes back a long time, this is probably early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And she said, oh yeah, A Course in Miracles. She said, I've heard that really has, changed a lot of people's lives. She said, I just couldn't really get into it. But if you want it, you can have it. And I said, okay. I didn't feel like there was competition. I felt like a lot of times I would say, have you read this or have you seen that? I was feeling a little bit like I was pulling her rather, and at one point I said, I feel like I'm making these suggestions and I don't really need to be doing that. And she said, I know what you're saying. She knew exactly what we were talking about. So we just sort of came to an agreement on that. It's not a competition. I never felt. I think that I would make suggestions or I would say what I was doing, and maybe she felt like she was not quite there yet, and so that's where it felt like behind or ahead. But I don't know, I think we all approach things in our own manner, and so I never wanted it to be a competition. That was, we've had this sort of, I can't say parallel, but I mean, for two sisters, and a lot of people go, your sister studies the Course too? And I'm like, yes. So we've done this together, of sorts, kind of going away and coming back and going away and coming back. And she's 7 years older than I am, and she has a family. She has different life circumstances than I do. I mean, family meaning children. But we've always kept in tune with the Course in that way, talking to each other about it, now more than ever. So this is really different retreats. She went to Kentucky back in '08 with me to see David and the group there. And so it's just sort of evolved that way. And we're always a little bit amazed. We're like, can you believe that we're doing this together? It's just like there's no mistake here and we can just feel it. So it's wonderful. I am very pointedly directed at what I feel like where my path needs to lead next. She has been maybe not so pointed, and we've discussed that, and so there's a lot of seems to be a lot of fear, which she is. I know she wants to get through it, but it's scary. It's fear. feel is like I want it up and out. I want it exposed. Whatever it is that needs to come up, I want it to come up. But every time that there is something that comes up in my life, and in the morning when I sit down and I pick up the course book, I read precisely what it is that I am needing the answer to. And it is so astounding. And this is Jesus talking, so I don't know why I'm astounded. But I'm just like blown away by how it answers. And we had our center, and the center attracted David because of just what we were. I can't exactly tell you how he came in touch, but he would come and periodically be going through town, and there would be David, and I would go to his talks, and it was wonderful. And I just thought, this is the guy. He knows what he's talking about, and I resonate with this so well. When the first time I saw David talk, he was so authentic. I didn't feel, he was just totally authentic. I could see that his whole heart was into this teaching. He wasn't just sort of doing it, he was totally into it. And the way it was a forum that it was just a gathering, couple-hour gathering, and the people that came together there, when they would ask questions, and he would, even if it was a little bit like, well, how could you possibly think that? He just would gather himself so peacefully and answer people's questions, and that just hooked me because I could tell that he felt it, and that's what I wanted. So ever since then, I've been following David's teachings and now the messengers, and it's such a wonderful group of people that are so close to my heart. And it's funny, I talked to Suzanne Sullivan not too long ago when I was thinking about trying to come into a longer time period, not just a week or so. And I said, I know you don't hear from me all that much, but I see you all the time because everyone is on the live streaming and on the videos. So it's just been, I feel very close to everyone there, even though I'm not close in proximity, but I will be now. I'm ready to make the trip tomorrow morning early to Fairfield, and I guess gratitude would be my highest feeling. I haven't had a whole lot of time to really, nor did I want to have preconceptions of what would transpire. I had dinner with a friend the other night that said, so what will you be doing? What are you going to, and I said, I really don't know. And she said, well, you must be thinking about something you're going to be doing, and how is it going to, I said, well, really the intention is that, that we are going to be living in community with like-minded people. And what I really want to experience is not so much what we're doing, but just how it's all going to flow together. Really, the mind training part of it is what is my main intention. And I know that that's what their main intention is, so that's what's so beautiful. And whatever happens within all of that really doesn't matter to me. I don't care if, I've not always been the most shoot from the hip, flexible gal in the world. I like my privacy, and I'm not always, when when I got the call about doing this interview the night before we were going to go, and that someone that I had never met was going to come to my house. I was so pleasantly surprised with my attitude and so grateful to say, sure, come on. You know, it just felt so great, so wonderful that I could say that. And I can only attribute that to my spiritual practice. There's nothing else leading up to that except that. It's really the only thing that's important to me. So, my little puppies and my little kittens who seem very dependent and devoted to me have been my only little teeny glitch, but I know they're going to be well taken care of. That's all been preordained, because as soon as I put my foot forward in this path, it seems like it says, okay. I feel good about getting everything done this morning. I got up in the wee hours to get all of the stuff done, but that's okay. I have to say goodbye to all the critters. So now I can start focusing a little bit more. I had to keep my attention really on what I was doing this morning to make sure I got everything done that needed to be done. And so here we are. Feels good. Even though I'm not sure what we'll be doing and how this is all going to go, I feel really comfortable with going. I know there's probably going to be stuff that comes up, living in close quarters with people that aren't used to being together, but that's the whole purpose of the whole process. So I'm happy about that. And we'll see about the Resurrection Project. I'm interested in really looking at the land, and I brought some good shoes that I can walk around on the property and enjoy that. So maybe there'll be even some horses in the vicinity that I can visit. It'll be really great to get there and just settle in and see everybody. My experience in California so far has been absolutely just glorious. I'm here to bring up anything that needs to come up. Nothing has been for me uncomfortable so far. I'm allowing for that. I really don't want to keep it. So I am just going along, but it feels glorious. I mean, this morning when Ken did the miracle moment and he said, picture yourself in a beautiful place. And I thought, I am. I am in a beautiful place. I just felt like there's no more beautiful place than this, and I guess really no less beautiful place, but I just felt surrounded by that beautiful room that was created yesterday, and just there with all the really loving, supportive brothers and sisters. That just felt great. Sister Lorraine's here, and I feel really great about it. I think that I didn't know how it would be because she had a lot of emotional discomfort around the thought of coming, and so I thought, well, how will it be when she gets here? And now that she's here, it's just great. I think she's really appreciating the process. I find it very easy to have her here. We go about our separate tasks, but yet we are doing things together, both within the process of what we're doing and then on time that we have off.
The two rules being no private thoughts, no people pleasing. The one on no private thoughts, that was my biggest concern about coming here. That was where my fear was, because I've had a lot of crazy private thoughts in my life. And the thing that's helped me lately is to go, those aren't really my thoughts. They're the ego's thoughts. And that's the only way that I was able to feel some peace with it, because when you have all these thoughts, I mean, some of them come in, you go, where did that come from? That's something so foreign to me. It could be like a dirty thought, or a very embarrassing thought, or an evil thought, or wanting somebody to die. I mean, even your husband, that I've gone through moments with that when I felt that maybe he was thwarting my life and felt responsible for him or whatever. And you get that thing. He goes on these big trips and he's gone for weeks and weeks at a time. And I've actually had moments of that. Well, gee, if he didn't come back. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you're thinking these thoughts. You go, if anybody ever knew that I thought these thoughts, what would they think of me? I could cry thinking about it myself right now.
Now everybody knows.
Now everybody knows, the whole world knows. So, I mean, I've had, crazy thoughts like that. And so, I'm thinking, and my own personal, thoughts, which I addressed yesterday in expression session about one of my biggest hang-ups is appearance. How do I look? How do I appear to other people? I'm basically a very messy person. Nobody would know that because I don't project that. I'm always straightening up and fixing myself up, so no one would ever know. They know now, but no one would ever know that I'm the exact opposite of what I project. I'm going to have to let that out, and that was frightening to me, very frightening. That was one of the main reasons I didn't want to come. And so then when I let that out, it was like, who cares? Nobody cares. They only care about how they project themselves, perceive themselves. So it's also crazy. So that was the private thought thing. That was the biggest thing.
Actually, we were just resolving the conflict this morning. There was really never a spoken conflict yesterday, but it was a silent conflict. It was just bubbling. And so, so we cleared it. I think we really did.
No, I feel great.
And so it feels good.
Yeah.
And I just, brought it up first, but Lorraine had the fortitude to just stick with it when I was going, okay, we're done. And she'd say, no, we're not. And so it all worked out.
I could
great.
see her face. I could tell
Yeah,
she really
could tell
wasn't
my
done
face
with
was-
me. Yeah.
So it was good.
And what's great about it is it's old stuff, because we have such a history. So it wasn't just what happened yesterday, the little misunderstanding. It pulled up all my victimization from years, the stuff that I pushed down because I don't speak out as much as Debbie does. So yeah, it was good. I think it cleared a lot of stuff away. And we don't have to dig into every little nuance of the past. It just the energy was dealt with.
And quite the interesting thing was really not much was said yesterday. It was just sort of this incident and then undercurrent. And so really, we were both very quiet, which is not typically the case. And we just sort of let it be and then dealt with it today. And that felt
Light as a feather.
That's right. So it works.
Yeah, it works.
So whatever works.
And thank God, because really, honestly, it's been under there for years and years. And so coming here, part of my concern coming here was that some of that stuff would come up, and you don't necessarily want to air all that in brothers, sisters in public. But I think we'll have a much healthier relationship now.
Every day seems like a new day. It's going fast. The first couple of days seemed like they were long, and not in an unpleasant way, but just kind of they were long. Early on, there were a lot more physical projects. Now those have kind of been done, and we have other projects that we're assigned to. So there's enough time in the day. Certainly to get those done, and there's no pressure, no stress to get a project done. So, our day has segments in it, but the segments seem to flow real well. I mean, I'm very happy with that.
If I overheard something, it's for me. It's for me. I happened to just be there at the time. It wasn't anything awful. It was just a little comment. And so I went, this is for me. Obviously, there's something in this that I needed to hear. And yes, my ego was involved in it. So when you see that, it didn't disappear immediately, but pretty soon it just kind of all went away. So in the past, perhaps if something like that would happen, I might hold it against you for a while and be quiet and I want to talk to you or something. But this time, I didn't act out any of this.
Well, another interesting thing was the other day I chose to have a silent day when no one else was. And this is so funny. Early in the morning, and I was trying to tell the people that were especially close to me, and then through the day I would say, if people would greet me or whatever, I'd say, I'm trying to have a silent day. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, Lorraine said, I said, what? She said, you were having a silent day? I said, yes, I told you right early in the morning. She said, oh, I didn't even know. I thought you were just in a bad mood. And she didn't care. I mean,
No, I didn't care.
like she didn't
I
care.
didn't take
She wasn't
offense to
going,
it. I'd ask her a
"Oh."
question she wouldn't answer. She'd look at me and I thought, she's in a bad mood, I guess.
So I thought that was really funny that we were Anyway,
Yeah.
and that silent day on my own, surrounded by a lot of people, probably wasn't the best thing because I felt more separated than joining, and I had to explain it to people. It was just,
it's better.
So it probably wasn't specifically guided. In fact, in the morning I was hearing, I want to be silent, and that was like, maybe not the best day. I'm like, no, I want to be silent. So it was okay. It just wasn't the most guided thing, but that was the funny part about it.
When I said I wasn't coming, and Debbie's going, well, I am, and I just felt like she didn't do that. I felt like I was being written off. You know what I mean? Because we were talking every day, and there was ego in that for sure. Do you know what I mean? That feeling like, oh, it's you and me not against the world, but you and me doing this. And so when she was going, well, I'm going, and I could just feel a sense of separation, and I thought, uh-oh, I'm being written off here. I better get back on track. And it was for ego too. I mean, I got to get back on track. She's leaving me behind, and I don't want to be left behind. And I was telling Lisa, I felt competitive. That was one of the big things that got me here too, because I thought, oh, danged if she's going to, grow a lot faster than me. And so, what was so cool was Debbie opened her book to where she was in the process of reading, and it addressed the whole issue.
It says there are no ahead and no behind. And I said, you have got, it was the very day we had this conversation. I said, you have got to read this.
I've got the chills thinking about it because it was word for word what was happening. Yes. Because you could turn to another page, it would not have said that. Because they always say the course addresses everything, all the time. But it was word for word. And don't ever think that you're ahead and someone's behind or vice versa, because you're all in, you're all in the teaching, learning all the time. Right. So when she read that, it was like, whew.
My experience here has been really the sum total very joyous. Yeah, joyous.
And it became more so, of course, as the time's gone on, because everybody's gotten to know each other so well and feel comfortable and safe. Yeah. Can let it all out.
It's the first time I've ever had a feeling of community, and I've been to retreats, but nothing like this. It's been incredible, just absolutely incredible.